LoreWarrior Online, STH-1D Stealth. Overview. The 45-ton Stealth is one more entry on the long list of battlemechs produced by GM over the years for the Lyran Alliance and the Federated Suns. One of the heaviest dedicated scout mechs ever designed, the Stealth's advanced capabilities make it one of the best. Capabilities. The Stealth is a dynamic medium mech, widely misunderstood from the moment of its inception. A mask system and jump jets that can propel it more than 200 meters make it faster and more maneuverable than most reconnaissance mechs. Its endosteel framework and extra light fusion engine enable it to mount substantial armor protection while carrying a heavy load of weapons and equipment. That loadout is often mistakenly dismissed as lacking, mainly because the Stealth wasn't designed as an infighter. Its single SRM-6 and Streak 2 racks backed up by 2 medium lasers are designed more to discourage pursuit than to provide a heavy punch, while giving stealth pilots assigned to deep penetration raids more than enough firepower to wreak havoc in the enemy's rear area. All that, though, is secondary to the Beagle active probe, which, when combined with an advanced sensor and mapping suite, make the Stealth an ideal recon mech. GM exhaustively tested the Stealth long before the first production model left the factories and received AFFC certification. Though the company considered these tests successful, after more than a decade in service, some Stealths have developed serious stress defects in their endosteel structures. Deployment. Since its debut, it's become the keystone recon mech in the AFFS and the LAAF. By far the largest users of the Stealth are units assigned to the Capellan March. In fact, the mech received its baptism of fire in 3054 Capellan raid into the St. Ives Compact. Striking the world of Ambergrist, the raiders spread out, expecting little opposition. They had no idea that a trial stealth unit was on planet. The attacking Capellans never saw the aptly named Stealths, which tracked the raiders' every move until the cavalry, in this case the Elysian Lancers 59th Striker, arrived. Aided by the Stealth's recon information, the Fedcom mech warriors called in devastating air and artillery strikes on the Capellan positions. Rumours are still circulating that the AFFS has formed an elite commando team almost exclusively equipped with this mech. Deployment records do not support this speculation, though there were some as yet unconfirmed sightings of this unit during the Fedcom Civil War in action on Capellan worlds. Variants. Only one official variant of the Stealth has ever come off the production lines. The STH-2D replaces the entire weapons loadout with a Streak SRM-6 and 3 ER medium lasers, retaining the active probe, though there is a field refit in some well-equipped regiments, replacing one of these lasers with a C3 slave unit or a tag laser. Rumours remain rife of an experimental Stealth that mounts prototype reverse-engineered stealth armour along with a single weapon, likely an extended-range PPC. Notable mech warriors. Command Sergeant Major James Rand Xavier Garnett. Command Sergeant Major Garnett is a 3rd generation 1st Fed Sons armoured cavalry mech warrior and also the regiment's 1st sergeant, as he has been for nearly a decade. He won the Certis Medal of Valour and Diamond Sunburst for actions on Cathil. More than anyone else, he's the heart and soul of the regiment, and virtual right hand and bodyguard to its commander. Garnett also leads an ad hoc special operations and reconnaissance group within the armoured cavalry, which was instrumental in recapturing the city of Radcliffe and ultimately the pacification of Cathil. Sergeant Anxious Andrea Reimer. Few mech warriors have been bounced from one unit to another as many times as Sergeant Andrea Reimer. Then again, not many have the nervous tics and hyperactive nature that earned her a nickname, along with so many transfers. Out of a mech, she looks and acts like someone with a adrenaline or sugar high coupled with a caffeine or amphetamine overdose, a fact confirmed by the accidents that seem to follow her around. Once inside her Stealth, the Lightning, she seemingly melds with the mech and is near unstoppable, though, curiously, her mech takes on many of her unique mannerisms. The Stealth, another mech that was improved by the artwork from Matt Plog in this TRO again, in the upgrade of TRO for 3055. It's a 45-tonner. It is built on the GM Stealth Endo steel chassis. It has a power plant of a GM 315XL, cruise of 76, max speed of 119, but with mask goes to 151 kph. It has the 100 AF VTA jump jets with 210 meters, Armor is Duralex medium armor with a Shannon SH60 SRM6 rack, a Federated Superstreak SRM2, and 2 Diplan M3 mediums, manufactured by General Motors on Cathil. Communication system is Dalban Micronics, and its targeting and tracking is Dalban Hi-Res. It's yeah, it's a decent little mech. It's, you know, not fantastically well armored. 21 on the CT, 17 on the right and left torso, 12 on the arms, and 20 on the legs. But with that kind of speed, with walks at 7, it can run with mask with 14, normally 11, and it can jump 7. So it's actually really maneuverable for its weight. And its weapon systems aren't too bad. It's got an SRM6 with Streak 2 and a pair of mediums, which, yeah, isn't bad for a 45-tonner. The Streak 2 is pretty much always a guaranteed hit, at least. The SRM6 is a decent punch, so the 2 mediums aren't going to overheat you anytime soon, especially since they are doubles. So it's got 20 heat dissipation. Yeah, it's not a bad mech. I doubt it's one of the ones that a lot of people would ever pick up as their choice of battle mech, because it's not like, it doesn't have that kind of instant, you know, oh, I have to have this kind of look to it. But when you look at everything that's built around it, it's actually pretty interesting as a design, and certainly something that you could see a lot of use out of. It's got multifunction written all over it. Good at being a stealth mech, good at being able to harass smaller units than itself, especially with its speed. It could catch up with a light mech and do a lot of damage to it very quickly. And its Beagle Probe is great to support a Lance in a heavier firefight because it can aid with detection and also for hit rolls, I believe. So, yeah, it's pretty decent. Not a bad mech at all. So, yeah, I don't think there's really much else to talk about with this one. I mean, I do like the note about Andrea Reimer having the kind of nervous tics of her personality, because it's one of the things that's kind of... It's difficult to express, and obviously it's not really a thing that any computer game, or even really, I think the cartoon series ever really showed off, but because the mechs are connected via a neurohelm, and it uses parts of your inner ear and stuff for balance and that, it's also using parts of your brain activity for the movement of the mech, so arms and legs, mechs can have more of a human-like movement to them, for the most part. It's just never very well communicated in any other media that's really shown them. But yeah, it's not unbelievable to think that like her mech might shift awkwardly on the spot or kind of move around a bit, sort of as if they're a little impatient and ready to move somewhere kind of thing. You could imagine that kind of like nervousness in them, in the mech moving. But yeah, it's always been a difficult thing to sort of translate across. Maybe one day in the future that'll be a thing that we'd see in a future, like sort of BattleTech or MechWarrior game. But yeah, it's a thing I've seen mentioned numerous times in other write-ups, like things like Kerensky, for instance, can sidestep is Atlas, or is Orion and stuff like that out of the way of incoming fire, like literally just kind of, you know, shimming, sliding sidestep, that kind of thing. Or mechs being able to grapple quite realistically with each other, which again is in any of the sort of media or artwork that you see. Well, the artwork will show it, but then the media, like say games like previous MechWarrior titles and HPS BattleTech, don't really communicate that level of complexity of movement available in the machines, but they are there. So yeah, it's a cool thing. One day maybe we'll see it. But anyway, I've rambled on long enough. Thanks for listening, everyone. Have a good week, and I will see you next time. Bye bye. Bye bye now. Bye. Bye. Go now. Bye.